Let's talk about this story involving Zenit St. Petersburg. Their fans have written a letter to the club making it very clear that they do not want gay players or black players in particular signed. This is what they've had to say. We're not racist, but we see the absence of black players at Zenit as an important tradition. It would allow Zenit to maintain the national identity of the club, which is a symbol of St. Petersburg. Make what you will of that, chaps.
We're not racist, but...
Every conversation starts like that, you know it's a racist talking.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's got to be a joke. And what do FIFA or UEFA do about it? It's just, it just gets... I can't even be bothered with it, to be honest.
You know, this raises huge questions over the World Cup.
Definitely. It's so difficult to grasp, and the mentality can say that. But what it means is, to those people, those fans, it seems self-evidently okay to say that, and that it's, and not only it's justifiable, but it's a sort of honourable position to take. So this is not, you know, the BNP or some extreme right-wing organisation. This is just a football fans group saying what they think is a self-evident truth, and so that is the ingrained belief of that city and that nation, and yet we're going to let them stage a cup for the world.
That's it in a nutshell.
Well, look, I'll tell you what, let me bring in Luther Blissett, very much a friend of the show, works with Show Racism, The Red Card. And I'm sure, Luther, you are you feel the same way we do about this remarkable story. By the way, it's finished Reading 2, Arsenal 5. We'll go to Kenny in a second, but let's first bring in Luther. Good evening, Luther.
Good evening. How are you doing, Darren?
Very well indeed. You must be staggered by this story.
Well, staggered, but, I mean, are we really surprised? I mean, it's not as if we weren't aware that this sort of thing has sort of been going on in that part of the world for a while. And when the World Cup was given to them, we all sort of looked at each other and scratched our heads and again and saying, why? How can this be? With the record that they've got behind them, that, you know, you've got a tournament where you're going to get people from all different nationalities, all different religions are going to be coming to play in a competition in that country when they have such very strong sort of views, let's say, against the people that's from a different colour, from different countries. It just makes no sense to me. And UEFA and FIFA, I mean, we'll see them do absolutely nothing about this like they've done about everything else. So it's, you know, you can just see anarchy at the head of all this, and it really just beggars belief how, in this day and age, this can still be such a huge problem.
Interesting is the ignorance about it, Luther, because in the statement they throw in gay players, so we can't have any gay players. Well, statistically they must have, you know. So I mean, it's just a complete nonsense.
It is. I mean, we all know. I mean, even in there must be in the Premier League and Championship, whatever. There's got to be one or two everywhere, and we all know that, and we're all aware. So, you know, for them to say that is the case, and they want to do this to protect the traditions of their club and whatever else. What are they protecting their club from?
Yeah, I mean, it's
exactly. You know, the thing is, these people come out with these statements. They never actually explain anything. They just make these statements and never explain it.
But Luther, do they never explain? Luther, do they not explain because they're not actually asked the direct question by the right people? And you say about
that's right, yeah.
The black players or any players are going to go over there. Forget the players at the minute going to go to the World Cup. What about the multiracial supporters, visitors there that are just going to be targets? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It is absolutely ridiculous, mate. And you know, this is happening so often now that you wonder with this thing that you know, the powers that be want to take football everywhere. Exactly what's going to become of it all.
Luther, I want to ask you, is there anything that Show Racism, The Red Card, Kick It Out, Football Against Racism in Europe, can they do anything about this?
The thing is, you see, you know, when you talk about charities and things like what we do at Show Racism, The Red Card and Kick It Out, we are good at making awareness. Hello?
Yes, we're still here, Luther.
Hanging
on your every word.
We create awareness, and we do education at schools to educate our young people so they understand what racism is and how damaging this can be to all of us, okay? But how can you go to Russia and say you can't do that and we want to do this unless they're open to it? You're just we'll get attacked ourselves for doing out there.
The thing is, Luther,
this has got to be something going to come from the powers that be to do something about this.
The thing is, Luther, I mean, we've only got a couple of minutes left on the show, so I've got to be brief. But I think as far as the European Championships were concerned, that was speculation as to what might happen. We've had stories about the Ukraine and Russia. We've never had something as specific as this, where fans have willingly put their name to a statement that says we don't want
There's
black
almost
people.
a pride in the statement, isn't
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. That must
how many of these supporters have actually done this? Is this like most things? A small group of people have done it.
Well, we don't know.
Well, we have no way of knowing it.
And that will be their get-out, Luther. They'll say that it's unofficial and it's just a club. But you see, now that it's out there, Sepp Blatter and the FIFA hierarchy owe their power base to votes from Africa and underdeveloped countries, and it is within the possibility that this being put out there might do some good. It might do some good because there is no hiding of it now.
Luther,
it will do some good as the fact that it's been said, but will they actually do anything about it? I'm still waiting for them to actually put their hand up and say this is not acceptable.
Yes.
They've never done that.
No.
So if they've never done that, they're not going to do it to a place like Russia, which has got the resources financially that they have got.
Yes.
They're never going to do that, because it seems to me that the hierarchy at FIFA and UEFA, the only thing they're about is financially looking after themselves. And as long as they're okay, football really can go its own way.
But the other thing they need is votes, Luther. That's all. I'm clinging to the hope that because they need votes from around the world, that now that this is out there, that it might stir something up. But
all we can do, mate, is hope, mate. Really, to be fair, because it just mortifies me. And every time I hear these things, you think we've got to keep campaigning and keep working at it. But you do need help from people in positions of power to actually move this thing forward quicker.